The gleaming corridors of the International Space Research Facility buzzed with more than just the hum of high-tech equipment on that momentous day. Every screen, every speaker, and every pair of eyes were tuned to the same unbelievable scene: the arrival of an alien spacecraft, descending gracefully upon the Earth. Dr. Alara Miles stood at the observation deck, her face a mask of professional curiosity, but her heart raced with unspoken questions and theories. As the facility's lead exobiologist, she had spent her career studying the possibility of life beyond Earth, but nothing could have prepared her for the reality of it. The alien ship, a seamless silver orb, landed softly on the designated landing pad, stirring up a cloud of dust that shimmered in the morning light. Silence engulfed the crowd of scientists and military personnel gathered around, their breaths held in anticipation. The hatch of the spacecraft opened with a gentle hiss, and out stepped an alien being. It was roughly humanoid, tall and slender, with translucent skin that revealed a shimmering, fluid-like substance beneath. Its large, opaline eyes reflected a spectrum of colors, hinting at a vision that perceived beyond human capabilities. "Greetings, Earthlings," the alien spoke, its voice a melodious echo that resonated softly in the air. "I am Kylum of the Ixari. I come in peace and with great curiosity about your kind." Dr. Miles stepped forward, her role as Earth's representative suddenly weighing heavy on her shoulders. "Welcome, Kylum. I am Dr. Alara Miles. We are honored by your visit and eager to learn from you as well." The introduction went smoothly, and soon Kylum was escorted into the facility for a formal meeting and exchange of information. As they walked through the corridors, Kylum's fascination with everything, from the mundane water cooler to the sophisticated holographic displays, was evident. During the meeting, which was broadcast globally, Kylum shared that the Ixari had been observing Earth for centuries, intrigued by human evolution and culture. Their technology allowed them to travel across galaxies and dimensions, making them advanced in not only technology, but also in understanding the fabric of existence itself. As the discussion delved into scientific and philosophical realms, Kylum paused, a thoughtful frown creasing its smooth forehead. "I have observed something very peculiar about your species," Kylum said, turning its gaze to the assembled human scientists. "Your method of reproduction is quite unique compared to other sentient beings we have encountered." A murmur rippled through the room, as the topic was sensitive and unexpected. Dr. Miles, maintaining her composure, nodded. "Yes, human reproduction is indeed quite specific to our species. It involves a biological process, enhanced by deep personal and emotional connections between individuals." Kylum's eyes widened, a glint of fascination, or was it amusement, flashing through them. "Fascinating. Such a complex blend of biology and emotion. It's a marvel, really. I must inquire." Kylum leaned forward, its voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper, yet still clearly audible. "Would it be permissible for me to learn more about this process? Perhaps even participate in it to understand it fully?" The room went silent, every human heart skipping a beat. Dr. Miles blinked, processing the bold request. The implications were staggering, both scientifically and ethically. After a moment of heavy silence, she responded, "Kylum, your interest in understanding humanity is appreciated, and while we strive for openness in sharing knowledge, some experiences are deeply personal and involve significant ethical considerations." Kylum nodded, its expression unreadable. "Of course, Dr. Miles. I respect your boundaries. It is never my intention to overstep. I am here to learn, to exchange, and to understand within the limits you set." The meeting continued, but the alien's unusual request lingered in the air, a reminder of the vast gulf of understanding between their two species. As the first chapter of this interstellar encounter drew to a close, Dr. Miles realized that this was just the beginning of what promised to be the most extraordinary chapter in human history. In the aftermath of Kylum's audacious inquiry, the atmosphere within the International Space Research Facility became charged with a mix of apprehension and intrigue. Dr. Alara Miles found herself at the epicenter of heated debates ethical committees, and confidential consultations. The idea of an alien wanting to understand human reproduction through participation was uncharted territory, and every step forward needed careful consideration. Calum, for its part, seemed unperturbed by the controversy it had stirred. It spent its days engaging with various scientific teams, discussing topics that ranged from quantum mechanics to the subtleties of Earth's ecosystems. Yet it was clear that its curiosity about human behaviors and social structures was its foremost interest. Late one evening, while reviewing data from the day's experiments, Ilara received a message from Calum requesting a private meeting. She agreed, curious and somewhat cautious about the purpose of this sudden summons. She met Calum in one of the facility's gardens, a place where bioluminescent plants cast a gentle glow over stone paths and flowing water features. The alien stood by a pond, watching the fish glide silently beneath the water's surface. "Dr. Miles," Calum began, turning its luminescent eyes towards her. "I sense your discomfort with my request. It is not my intention to cause distress. I wish to understand not just the biological aspects, but the emotional resonance that accompanies your reproduction." Ilara took a moment before responding, choosing her words with care. "Calum, your request involves very personal elements of human life. It's not just biological. Emotions, relationships, consent. These are complex and sacred aspects of our existence." "Indeed, I realize that now," Calum replied, its tone contemplative. "On Ixari, our connections are different. We bond over knowledge and mutual discovery. Emotions, as you experience them, are foreign to us." This revelation sparked an idea in Ilara. "Perhaps instead of direct participation, we could arrange for you to observe our emotional connections in other contexts. Art, music, literature, these are all windows into our emotional world." Calum considered this for a moment, then nodded. "That would be most enlightening. I am eager to experience these aspects of your culture." For the next few weeks, Calum immersed itself in human culture. It attended concerts, read extensively from the facility's library, and even participated in art therapy sessions. Each experience was documented and discussed in detail with Ilara and other cultural specialists. During these sessions, Calum was particularly taken with the concept of empathy, so vital to human interaction but so alien to its own experiences. "To feel as another feels is not an ability we possess," it mused during a discussion with Ilara. "Yet I see its value, its necessity in binding your society together." One afternoon, while observing a group therapy session, Calum had a breakthrough. "I believe I am beginning to understand. Your emotions are not just feelings. They are a language, a way to communicate beyond words." Ilara smiled, pleased with the progress they were making. "Exactly. And through these expressions, art, music, literature, we share that language with others, not just for reproduction, but for all aspects of life." As Calum's visit extended, its understanding of human life deepened, and so did its respect for the complexities of human emotions. The once blunt request to participate in human reproduction transformed into a profound exploration of human empathy and emotional communication. By engaging with human culture rather than biological processes, Calum not only respected the ethical boundaries set by the humans, but also enriched its own understanding of a previously inconceivable aspect of life. The corridors of the International Space Research Facility echoed with the whispers of groundbreaking collaboration. As Calum's understanding of human culture deepened, so did the research opportunities. Dr. Ilara Miles had spearheaded an initiative to integrate Calum's unique perspective into various scientific studies, transforming routine experiments into explorations of uncharted territory. One project focused on the emotional responses triggered by virtual reality environments. Calum was particularly interested in this, as it provided a controlled setting to observe human emotions without direct involvement. Ilara and her team crafted scenarios ranging from serene landscapes to tense, emotionally charged situations. Calum observed through a biometric interface that translated human physiological responses into data comprehensible to the Ixari. "What intrigues me," Calum shared during a review session, "is the variability. Two humans experiencing the same scenario react in distinct, personalized ways. It is not just the emotion, but the intensity and the subtleties that differ. Elara nodded, making notes on her tablet. That's the cornerstone of individuality among humans. Our emotions are influenced by a myriad of factors: past experiences, personal values, even our health at the moment. As the weeks progressed, the research diversified. Another team worked with Calum to study the neurological underpinnings of creativity, a trait that the Ixari found baffling. Using advanced imaging technologies, they mapped the brain activity of artists and scientists during the creative process, juxtaposing it with Ixari patterns of thought and problem-solving. Meanwhile, cultural exchanges became a daily event. Calum had brought with it artifacts and stories from Ixari civilization, showcasing their own ways of life, their technologies, and their philosophy. This exchange was not just academic. It was a bridge between worlds, a mingling of minds that spanned galaxies. It wasn't long before Calum's initial faux pas became a distant memory, overshadowed by its contributions and earnest desire to understand. The aliens' respect for human norms had earned it not only the scientists' collaboration, but also their genuine affection. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the facility's grounds, Elara found Calum standing alone, gazing at the sky. Joining it, she followed its gaze to the stars, a tapestry of possibilities stretching overhead. "Back home," Calum began, its voice soft. "We navigate by these stars, but seeing them from Earth, from another perspective, it's as if I'm seeing them for the first time." Elara smiled, her eyes also on the heavens. Perspective can change everything. It's not just the stars. It's how we see each other, how we understand each other. Calum turned its gaze to her, its eyes reflecting the starlight. "And yet, despite our differences, there is common ground. We strive to understand, to learn. That's universal, isn't it?" "It is," Elara agreed, a sense of camaraderie settling between them. "Maybe that's the real discovery. Not the data we've gathered, but the understanding we've achieved." As the project continued, the findings from their collaborative studies began to influence broader scientific thought. The implications of their work hinted at new ways to approach not only interstellar diplomacy, but also the understanding of consciousness and the diversity of sentient life. Each experiment, each discussion, brought them closer to a synthesis of their two vastly different perspectives, offering insights that neither could have achieved alone. As the collaboration between humanity and the Ixari advanced, it culminated in a grand symposium where scientists from around the globe and representatives from other disciplines were invited to share insights and discoveries. The event was to be held at the International Space Research Facility, transformed for the occasion into a hub of interstellar academic exchange. Calum was eager to present its findings on human emotion and creativity. The alien had prepared extensively, adapting its knowledge into formats that would be comprehensible and engaging to a human audience. Dr. Elara Miles worked closely with Calum, ensuring the nuances of both Ixari and human research methodologies were respected and accurately portrayed. The symposium opened with a keynote address from an eminent physicist discussing the potential for wormhole travel and the implications for faster-than-light communication across the cosmos. This set the stage for a series of presentations that explored everything from theoretical physics to the more esoteric aspects of alien sociology. When it was Calum's turn to present, the hall was packed with attendees, buzzing with anticipation. The alien took the stage, its form shimmering subtly under the auditorium lights, a visual effect of its transparent skin interacting with Earth's atmosphere. "Esteemed colleagues," Calum began, its voice resonating through the advanced sound system. "Today, I bring you a glimpse into the human spirit, as seen through the eyes of an outsider. We, the Ixari, have long understood the universe through the lens of knowledge and discovery. However, through my time with you, I have learned that to understand another life form, one must also understand the emotions that drive it." The presentation included visual aids that displayed human brain scans, artistic representations, and emotional response graphs. Calum expertly explained how these elements were interpreted through Ixari technology, revealing patterns and insights that had previously been masked by the limitations of human technology alone. Following the presentation, a panel of experts in psychology, neuroscience, and xenology took the stage to discuss the implications of Kylem's findings. They debated and dissected the data, considering how it could reshape human understanding of other potential sentient beings in the universe. Throughout the day, breakout sessions allowed for smaller group discussions, where scientists could interact more intimately with Kylem and delve deeper into specific topics. These sessions proved invaluable for fostering a deeper understanding and unveiling the complex layers of intercultural and interstellar research. In one such session, a group of cultural anthropologists engaged Kylem with questions about Ixari society. They were particularly interested in how the Ixari dealt with conflicts and governance. Kylem explained that the Ixari did not experience conflict in the human sense. Their decisions were made collectively, through a form of consensus that was facilitated by their unique neural network. As the symposium drew to a close, a joint statement was drafted by Alara and her colleagues, outlining the future of human-Ixari cooperation. The statement proposed the establishment of a permanent Earth-Ixari liaison office, aimed at continuing the exchange of knowledge and facilitating visits by more Ixari to Earth. The final night saw a cultural celebration, where human and Ixari music was played, creating a blend of melodies that symbolized the union of their worlds. Kylem, moved by the harmony of the music, expressed a wish that this symposium would serve as a beacon across galaxies, inviting other civilizations to share their knowledge and learn from each other. As delegates departed, the bonds formed during the symposium held the promise of a new era. For humanity, it was a step into the larger cosmos, a confirmation that they were not alone and that the universe was more interconnected than anyone had dared imagine. For Kylem and the Ixari, it was an exposure to the vibrancy and complexity of emotional life, something entirely new to their experience. The collaboration was not just a meeting of minds but of hearts, across the stars. The establishment of the Earth-Ixari Liaison Office marked a new epoch in interstellar relations. Dr. Alara Miles was appointed as the chief liaison, a role she embraced with a blend of enthusiasm and solemn responsibility. The office, located within the International Space Research Facility, was a marvel of human and Ixari architecture, featuring designs that blended the aesthetic sensibilities of both cultures. Kylem, meanwhile, had returned to Ixar with a wealth of human experiences to share. Its departure was a bittersweet moment for the team at the facility, especially for Alara, who had formed a close bond with the alien. The promise of continued collaboration softened the farewell, with frequent communications and plans for future exchanges. Back on Earth, the liaison office buzzed with activity. Researchers from various fields applied for grants to conduct joint studies with Ixari scientists. One of the first approved projects was a comparative study of Earth's oceans and the liquid methane seas of Ixar, aiming to understand the different forms of life each supported. Alara often found herself in video conferences with Kylem, discussing the logistics of these projects. During one such call, Kylem introduced a new Ixari researcher, Niall, who specialized in xenobiology. Niall was to visit Earth to work directly with Alara's team, a prospect that brought a new level of excitement to the ongoing partnership. Upon Niall's arrival, Alara introduced him to the team and the facility. Niall was particularly interested in the emotional research that had been Kylem's focus, eager to understand how such studies could be applied to Ixari, who were beginning to explore the concept of emotions themselves. "Dr. Miles, your work with Kylem has opened new avenues of thought among my people," Niall explained as they toured the labs. "We are intrigued by the notion that emotions could add a layer of depth to our decision-making processes." Alara was pleased with the interest and arranged for Niall to attend a series of lectures on human psychology. "It's fascinating," Niall remarked during a session on emotional intelligence, "how your emotions influence so many aspects of your lives, from personal relationships to large-scale governance." As the Earth-Ixari collaboration deepened, other nations and planets expressed interest in joining the exchange. This led to the establishment of the Interstellar Cultural Exchange Program, ICP, which Alara co-chaired. The program facilitated visits from representatives of various alien species, turning the liaison office into a bustling intergalactic hub. During one of the ICEP meetings, A new alien species from the Zephyr constellation shared their method of communication through color changes in their skin. The variety of perspectives each new species brought to the table enriched the program immeasurably, creating a tapestry of interstellar knowledge and mutual understanding. In preparation for the first Interstellar Conference on Earth, Elara and her team worked tirelessly to ensure that the needs of various alien physiologies were met. The conference venue was adapted to support different atmospheric requirements, gravitational needs, and dietary preferences. The conference was a resounding success, with scholars, leaders, and researchers from across the galaxy coming together to discuss future collaborations, share technological advancements, and build a community of diverse intelligent life forms. It was a testament to the power of curiosity and respect for differences, echoing the ethos of the initial human-Ixari partnership. As the conference concluded, Elara looked around at the gathered representatives, feeling a profound sense of accomplishment. The path ahead was filled with promise, each step driven by the shared pursuit of knowledge and the desire to understand the vast, varied universe they all inhabited. As the Interstellar Conference drew to a close, Dr. Elara Miles stood on the podium to deliver the closing remarks, reflecting on the unprecedented journey that had begun with a single, curious alien's bold request. The hall, a magnificent structure accommodating diverse life forms, hummed with the quiet chatter of representatives from different corners of the galaxy, each discussing the newly forged alliances and the potential of shared futures. Today, we stand together, not just as representatives of our respective worlds, but as members of a broader, interconnected community. Elara began, her voice resonant, capturing the attention of the audience. This conference has not only been about sharing scientific knowledge and cultural insights, but about weaving a complex, vibrant tapestry that represents each of us as part of a grander cosmos. She paused, allowing her words to resonate. Cameras flashed, capturing this historic moment. We have initiated projects that extend beyond our solar systems, combining efforts to tackle cosmic environmental issues, and we've established educational exchanges that will enlighten future generations. We've begun to explore what it truly means to be neighbors in this universe. In the audience, Niall from Ixar, alongside other Ixari members, nodded in agreement, their features illuminated by the gentle glow of the bioluminescent lights, an homage to Ixari aesthetic preferences. Elara continued, "Among us today we have those who communicate through colors, those who sing their thoughts, and those who share emotions through collective consciousness. Our diversity is our strength, our curiosity our guide." As her speech concluded, a standing ovation filled the room, the sounds as varied as the beings present. Some clapped, others hummed harmonically, and a few even radiated pulsating lights. Post-conference, the real work began. The liaison office, under Elara's guidance, became the central node for coordinating the multitude of projects that had been proposed. Teams were busy at work, implementing advanced technologies that would clean space debris with precision and efficiency, deploying automated ships that would plant the seeds of life on barren planets, and setting up deep space observatories to study the origins of the universe. Meanwhile, Calum, who had returned to Earth for the conference, spent its time among various cultural groups, absorbing human philosophies and arts. It became something of an ambassador for the Ixari, embodying the potential for growth and change that contact with other cultures could bring. One evening, as Elara and Calum walked through the now familiar gardens of the facility, they discussed the future. "What do you think is the next step for us, Calum?" Elara asked, genuinely curious about the alien's perspective. Calum paused, its gaze on the stars visible through the transparent dome above them. "I believe we are only at the beginning, Elara. The projects we have started, the alliances we have formed, they are mere seeds. It will be our ongoing commitment to nurturing these connections that will determine the true impact of our work." Elara nodded in agreement. She knew the road ahead would be filled with challenges, but the foundation they had built was solid, rooted in mutual respect and boundless curiosity. As they parted ways that evening, a meteor shower streaked across the sky, a natural celebration of cosmic proportions. Elara watched, feeling a deep connection not only to the earth beneath her feet, but also to the vast, mysterious universe that lay beyond. She returned to her office, her mind buzzing with plans and ideas. The path forward was clear, lit by the starlight of collaboration and the endless possibilities that awaited them in the cosmos.